7 ways you can improve without practice in Counter-Strike 2. Number 1, getting trades and getting traded. Don't forget to be in a position that can be traded, and make sure you're aware of who you're supposed to be trading. If you aren't able to be traded, like solo ramp on nuke or solo catwalk dust 2, then you need to be able to get a kill and then keep your life. Run back into bottom ramp and let your heaven player watch hell, and fall back to site or new box and let your A player watch cat while you retreat. Dying and not getting traded can change how the entire round is being played, so it's best to play with your teammates for the best chance at winning rounds. Number 2, play with better players. If you feel like you constantly get bad teammates, it's probably because you're in a situation to guarantee bad teammates. The absolute worst time to queue without a stack is weekdays during early mornings. If you have some free time and you feel like solo queuing in CS2, forget it. It's a very high chance you'll end up with some loser who will complain and make the game harder for everyone. Instead, play your elo games at peak player hours to guarantee people who actually want to try, like weeknights or weekend afternoons. Add anyone you have good games with or who you feel like knows the game. Even if that teammate has a bad game now and then, it's better to know your teammates than to trust matchmaking to give you a good player. Also, you could trust your teammate to listen to you much more than you can a random. Solo queue as little as often, and never do it during weekday work hours. Number 3, playing slower but not slow. If you're already decent at the game and you have 1 to 2k hours, you might find yourself doing tweaker movement when you're mindlessly playing the game. If you could realize this, slow it down and focus on your game sense. If you have the skills, it should come back into you as soon as you lock into the game and you stop quick switching. Some players actually play tanky and slow the whole time, but still do well because they're focusing on the game and hitting their shots. Number 4, not rotating immediately. If you're holding one side of the map and you hear gunshots, it does not mean run towards the gunshots. Trust your team on that side of the map to correct the situation first before you let go of your position, especially moving too early, which can allow the enemies to kill you right as you turn around, or gain the map control while you're moving to a worse position. If no one says when it's time to rotate, it's usually when 2 teammates die a few seconds within each other, or when a teammate dies who isn't soon traded, which then you should probably check your minimap and then maybe rotate. Number 5, warm up with something. A warm-up can be seen as practice, but I'm talking about warm-up with anything. You could do Valve Deathmatch, join a custom retake server or aim duel server, aim bots, aim rush, KZ, or just go for a walk outside. Whatever you think gets you in the mood and ready to play some Counter-Strike is a good warm-up. On a side note, if you've ever tried using your hands when it's cold outside, you know how the cold affects your meat, and it's hard to move your fingers to write on paper or to type on iPhone. That also goes for using your keyboard and mouse with cold hands. If you tend to get stressed mid-game and get cold fingers, you could buy some electric hand warmers on Amazon for like 20 bucks, or just try to keep your fingers warm while you play. Number 6, only playing when you're ready to play. Some days, no matter how much you try, you might just have an off day. It happens to everyone in every hobby and profession. So, in theory, if you cared about your elo and you wanted to play at your best, you wouldn't want to play ranked when you're at your worst. You can easily find out if you're having a bad day from your warm-up or your first game. If you felt like playing some CS for fun, just queue up some normal competitive, or you could spend your time learning smokes and playing retake servers. You're only going to frustrate yourself losing while missing shots that you would have normally hit. Lastly, number 7, knowing when to stop playing. If you lose your first game, but you had fun and felt decent, you should almost always queue for another game if you have the time to. Invite either your whole team or the best players, depending on how the game went, and take your good game sense into the next match. If you, however, lose really bad with a stack, or you just do horrible in your solo/duo queue, it might be time to switch games to maintain your happiness and not explode. Share this video with your friends who are just getting into CS, or your friend who won't stop solo queuing. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.